The MLS and Leagues Cup just crowned a Leagues Cup champion. The transfer deadline has passed us as well. September training camp rosters have released worldwide. Let's find out now on Between the Posts. How is everybody doing? Welcome back to Between the Posts. I'm your host, Erek. Enrique is not with us today, so my co-host will not be here. It'll be just myself. We're going to do a short, brief episode this week. Mostly going to be talking about Leagues Cup. Seattle Sounders ended up beating Miami last night. Inter Miami, Lionel Messi's Inter Miami. A bunch of shenanigans and possibly suspensions due to those shenanigans, in my opinion. We'll see what happens with that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We also saw Orlando FC take on Galaxy for the third place match. Galaxy ended up taking the third place. And so all of those matches are actually going to be consequential when it comes to our Champions Cup, which will be taking place later on. So we have those results. So let's get into the Miami match first and foremost. So we have Seattle taking a 3-0 victory against Miami. Miami looked, they couldn't really do much. It was 1-0 for most of the match. We saw a Roldan penalty make it 2-0, and then a really poor pass back. Rothrock, whatever his name is, Paul, the hometown hero for Seattle, takes it, makes it 3-0. Miami, what are we doing? I don't even know what's going on with this team. They've re-signed Messi. Suarez is hopeful to re-sign so that he can retire with Messi. I think Suarez, I don't know. I really don't know what I would do if I were a sporting director for Miami. And when it comes to what I would do with Luis Suarez, you simply cannot have a player act the way that he did. So if you're unfamiliar, last night Luis Suarez, in his defeat with Inter Miami, spitting on a Seattle Sounders training staff member, it appeared like, or a security member, one of the Seattle Sounders or Lumen Field employees, catching, what is essentially, and I'm pretty sure by law it's assault. Like, you can't spit on people. I mean, that requires a suspension at the very least. Their remaining matches, I don't know if you can go less than that. He can't play again this season. You can't spit on people. And on a final, I mean, Miami looked poor. Somebody got punched at the end of the game. I don't remember who threw the punch. Maybe Busquets, maybe Suarez. But this stuff can't happen. It was a bad look. Seattle looked great. It's sad that I have to sit here and talk about Miami when Seattle were so good, and Seattle won the match handily. And there's a really great story with Seattle. They've now won all the North American trophies. They are a model when it comes to North American football. I would say in probably like 25 years' time, when we're talking about what MLS looks like or what North American soccer looks like, whether or not the relegation and promotion system helps the USSL overtake MLS or what have you. I don't know what the future holds with regards to that, but in 25 years, we're going to look at Seattle Sounders as a Liverpool type organization or a Chelsea type organization. An organization that has won and is huge and represents everything about their league when it comes to winning and being a champion. They've won everything. Their coach is decorated for Western Conference championships, a myriad of trophies. So I've been on Seattle most of the season since Club World Cup in July. So here, start of September, let's see if Seattle Sounders can go and win the whole thing. I think they've got a good chance now. San Diego FC picked up another win. Still top of the West. Philadelphia Union are still great. We'll see what happens with Cincinnati FC. Orlando FC, despite their loss to Galaxy last night, Orlando FC are still great. So we'll see what happens with these big clubs. We'll see what Son does with LAFC. Maybe they sneak in and make a run. Now, Houston Dynamo picked up a big win Houston Dynamo with their victory pick up 3 points. Could have been a 3-0 win. It ends up being a 3-2 squeak by. Could have made some headway with the goal difference, but we'll take the 3 points. I think if you're a Dynamo fan right now, you just want wins. Any points, any way you can get them, there's a real opportunity for them to scrape by and get into that 9th place position. So hopefully they can do that. And a win is a good start. Is a good start for them. So they got the win. Another big match day coming up. I think their center back pairing, maybe they can solidify that center back pairing with Erek Sviatchenko. I hope I'm pronouncing that with at least a little bit of respect. But him being paired, I forget who they were pairing. Ortiz, I think they were pairing him with. It just wasn't working out, and their back line seems a lot more solidified right now. I would have liked for them to make a couple more signings during the window. It didn't happen. We'll see. They've had a couple of big signings that have flopped so far. Maybe they can actually contribute at the level that we thought they were going to contribute whenever they signed for Dynamo. But that's enough of Houston Dynamo. LA Galaxy are 30th in the table, I believe. I want to say they're 30th. I don't have it in front of me. And they've just punched a ticket to a major North American tournament. These North American tournament bids are wild, man. Now, granted, they did their part. They earned it. They earned it. They went in. They competed. Got out of their group stage in the Leagues Cup. They competed up until the semifinal. You go and you play the semifinal loser of the other bracket, and you win. That's how you get your 3rd place ticket. They are going to be in the Champions Cup alongside Seattle Sounders and Inter Miami. We'll see who all the other teams are. There's only 3 in there right now, so tournaments on tournaments on tournaments. I'm finding out here covering soccer for Apollo HOU. I love it. I'd never really had the opportunity to dig into MLS this way, but I find that MLS is doing everything they can in partnership with Liga MX to, make these North American tournaments something big and something to root for, something to watch. So another tournament to look forward to with the Champions Cup. I think that covers North American soccer, football for now. I don't have a lot of insight into Liga MX. That's more Enrique's field. So we'll talk about Liga MX and what we missed next week. But transfer deadline is passed. Yes, Isak did get transferred to Liverpool. Another Liverpool transfer didn't happen. I want to say it is from maybe it was from Aston Villa. At any rate, there was another transfer that they were supposed to have go through, didn't go through, but they had like 7 or 8 huge transfers this window. Like Jeremy Frimpong, not to mention Isak and Florian Wirtz. So Liverpool's set. They're stacked. Regardless of, they didn't get the transfer they wanted. Boo-hoo, you got 8 other transfers for $800 million or whatever. You're going to be fine. If you're a Liverpool fan right now, Enrique, when he's usually here, Liverpool fan, you got to be sitting tight and pretty right now. You got your 1-0 win against Arsenal. Arsenal playing what they call the devil football. There's another name for it I won't talk about, but there's all sorts of names for this style of football, and it's because it's unattractive. You're playing like 7 defensive players on the pitch. Nobody's playing up front and forward. It's not pretty to watch. I'm sure everybody was hate watching that yesterday. I mean, there's like United players on the broadcast saying, I hope Liverpool win. Like that's crazy. I don't know if you guys understand how rivalries work, but you don't root for your rival to win. So for them to root for Liverpool to win, Arsenal's playing some bad football. And bad, I mean, nobody wants to watch it. You might win games, but losing on a set piece is kind of perfect, though. A team trying to win with just set pieces, losing on a set piece, perfect. And what a set piece it was. That free kick is unreal. these guys and their names. So Bozlai, something to that effect. Dominic Sabozlai with his free kick to win it. Unbelievable free kick from like 40 yards out, like 37, far as hell away from the goal. Unbelievable. Curled it into the left corner. Hopefully you'll see it on a compilation I prepared for me and the guys to react to. So, as far as the Premiership goes, Tottenham lose after beating City. They lose to Brighton, or I want to say it was Bournemouth. They lose to Bournemouth. What can we say? They're still top four. 3 games in, top 4 of the table. Top 4 of the table looks really interesting right now. Everton, number 5 right now. So Liverpool's up there, Chelsea's up there. Then you've got some interesting players. Sunderland got another win as well. So shout out to Sunderland. I'm gonna shout y'all out every time. I love it for you guys. Leeds got a draw against Newcastle, which I'm sure if you're a Newcastle fan, that's disappointing. But that's this week in the Premier League. I'm not going to discuss Manchester United beating Burnley because you're supposed to beat Burnley. Congratulations on getting your first win of the season, United. You still nearly bottled it. So let's finally get into the roster for September. So we're talking about Team USA first. We'll talk about Team Mexico next week when I have an opportunity to talk to the expert on Team Mexico. But this week it's going to be just me talking about Team USA. Now, some omissions from the roster. There's like 3 or 4 center midfielders that I would love to have on here. Weston McKennie is not in camp. Johnny Cardoso is not in camp. Tanner Tessman is not in camp. We will see the likes of Jack McGlynn again. I want to say Luca De La Torre is back. Diego Luna is back. We will not see Malik Tillman, but there are some names on here I am excited to see. Notably Noah Kai Banks. I think Noah Kai Banks in the Noah Kai Banks as a center back to pair alongside Chris Richards. Chris Richards, far and away, having an amazing season so far for Crystal Palace. Far and away, in my opinion, the best Team USA player, bar none. Christian Pulisic is a great player. I don't think he's nearly as proficient at his position as Chris Richards is. I would even say Jedi Anthony Robinson are my top 2. The defense has a chance to be something really, really special for Team USA, I think. Between the attacking playmaking ability of Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest and the just absolute just shithousery of Chris Richards and his ability to fight and win aerial battles. Noah Kai Banks, he's proved in the preseason that he can contribute in a playmaking capacity. I just think you got to get Tim Ream out of there, and Miles Robinson isn't the answer. Some of these other guys that have been brought up to was it Tristan Blackman? I think they called up to fill in the role for central center back. I think you have a pretty solid 11. If you got Flo Balogun, getting into camp as the 23rd guy. Why is he not initially on the roster? If you're going to invite him after the fact, he's got to be on the initial roster. Josh Sargent, Haji Wright, those 3 strikers. I think you're looking at those 3 easily being a part of this 2026 roster. They're contributing with their clubs. They look really great thus far this season. I want to see them get really big Team USA minutes. Flo Balogun looked good. He scored a goal this weekend. A little chip across the keeper. More of that, please, for Team USA. He's got 9 contributions in 15 matches already, So it's not like the guy isn't contributing for club and country. It just needs more minutes. All of these guys, Team USA, just need more minutes. They're still young. Now, some of the players, we've seen them for maybe going on 6-7 years now. Talking about guys like Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie and those guys. I think I think with a move, you might see guys like Gio Reyna and Joe Scally, because eyes will be on Gio Reyna. I think Joe Scally, if he performs really well with in Gladbach, I think you'll see him get maybe some more time in that right back slot. Dest is back with the team, which is huge. Pulisic is back with the team. Balogun is with the team. No Weah. I don't think Weah is on the roster. That could be wrong. I'm going off of what I remember looking at my notes because I don't have them in front of me, unfortunately. But this team is gonna be interesting. Big friendlies coming up. The September window is going to be really, really big. After this window, though, I don't want to see any new names. After this window, if Pochettino is still experimenting, it's far too late. As a fan, you can't be experimenting this late into the internationals, like the international windows right before the World Cup. I mean, people are already saying with this roster it's too late. I don't agree, because ultimately I think that you're still looking to fill those 15 to 22 spots. I think maybe you have your top 4 subs that you're going to put on. Maybe your backup goalkeeper. Maybe you're down to your top 2 keepers. Even that I don't think is the case, given the keepers that they're bringing into this camp. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to Team USA and their international roster that they're bringing in September. The friendlies will give us a lot more to kind of think about and a lot more answers to these kind of questions. But ultimately, you're going to see people scratch their heads if the guys that they've brought in to get a look at don't get minutes. That's also a thing that's been happening. Some of these guys that they bring in and they say, oh, you're going to be a part of the training camp, but you're not going to see any playing time. I don't understand that at all. So in regards to players that I'm hopeful to see in camp next time, I mentioned it a little bit ago, but guys like Tanner Tessman, I would love to see. Joe Scally. I want to see Reyna get back into the fold, at a possible, 8 or 10 spot. Let him play in the midfield and centrally. Let him see what he can do. Get Weah on the wing. Have Pulisic either play on the left or play centrally. I still don't really know what Poch wants to do. We'll see more of his tactic, what he wants to do with this national team. I can't say I'm confident. I got to be honest. I can't say I'm too confident. I do love their options in the individual quality of the players. I don't know what they're capable of doing together. I've seen them just capitulate too often. Not too much else to say in regards to the national team. Of course, there's going to be a lot we didn't get into this week. It's going to be somewhat of a shorter episode, at least I think. It's hard to tell. But from between the posts, it's been Erek. Enrique was a little bit under the weather this week. But we're trying to get you guys some content, trying to get you guys in the know. What we know, get it to you. If you aren't paying attention, everything just started. All of the matches for all the leagues. We have MLS has been going since like February, March, but Premier League just started. All of these other leagues, the Liga 1, French League, the Turkish leagues, all the top leagues in Europe, they all started. Italy started, I think, a week later. Christian Pulisic bagged his first goal. Good for him. Yunus Musa is officially on his way to Atalanta, so he'll be moving on from Milan. What other news and things can I bring you this week? I think that's going to be it, man. Thanks so much. If you're watching, thanks for bearing with me. It's a little bit strange doing a solo episode, but I think I did all right. Let me know in the comments. We're going to have a goal compilation coming out for all the best goals in August. Look out for that. And go ahead and drop some of your favorite goals that you guys saw in August. I would love to see those, react to those as well. You can find us on Twitter at _BTP official. We're at Between the Post official on everything else. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.